Welcome to the work session meeting for the Mount Vernon City School District Board of Education. Today is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk James, roll call, please. And before we do the roll call, just please note that Trustee White is joining this evening's meeting via Zoom.
Trustee White? We'll come back to her. Trustee Vasquez? Trustee Peterson? Trustee Evans? Trustee McDonough? Trustee Middleton? Trustee Brown? VP Scott?
Present.
Okay, and President Maribel? Present. Okay, we have a quorum. Trustee White? You see her?
Yes.
Okay.
This evening, we'll be taking action, a few action items this evening, so we will suspend the rules for the work session. So we can take. Can you hear me now? All right, Verizon in the house. We will be taking action on a few items this evening, so we will suspend the rules for the work session so that we can take action. Motion for that, please.
Can I have a motion, please, to suspend the work session rules for this work session?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Okay. We will be having some presentations tonight, and I will be passing it to Dr. Strickland for introduction.
Great evening, trustees, Mount Vernon community. So this evening, we will have two brief presentations. One is from our food services manager, Donna Jackson, and then we will have a presentation on the new website launch from our communications team. So with that being said, Ms. Jackson.
We got popcorn Happy Meal toy. It's got your name on it, Tatiana.
Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Good evening, Superintendent Strickland, Board President Maribel, Vice President Scott, Board Trustees, and the Mount Vernon community. This is a review of the 2025-26 school year with Sodexo. Next slide. So, any aspects of the school meal programs. Food services is much more than tater tots and pizza Fridays. We are nutrition, education, wellness, and movement, cultural food programming, local food purchasing, state and federal policy work, facilities, waste management. We are program compliance, community outreach, gardening, and more. Next slide. So this slide talks about the meals we served. The primary directive of the Food Services Department is to feed the students and to feed them well. To that end, over 1.42 million reimbursable meals were served across the district in 2025-26. About 55% of students eat breakfast in our district and almost 64% eat lunch. Meal participation is strong across school sites, but there is opportunity to grow the program, which you will see in a moment. Students are choosing to eat with us, which is the truest measure of whether the food program is working. Every child eats for free in our district and will continue to do so. Sending a special thank you to Ramona Parker, Naomi Burgos, and Reno Lembo. They provided portions of the critical student data needed to complete the district's community eligibility provision meal service option renewal, also known as CEP, which lets school districts like Mount Vernon serve breakfast and lunch to students at no charge using a formula based on the share of students already identified through SNAP or Medicaid. It removes the stigma and expensive paperwork barriers that keep eligible kids from eating, and it guarantees consistent federal reimbursement revenue and ensures every student has equal access to meals regardless of a family's ability to complete the application. Our CEP meal option renewal was approved, And so from July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2030, all students will continue to eat for free in the Mount Vernon City School District, and I will monitor any future state or federal changes to SNAP eligibility. But for now, every student has access to healthy meals. Next slide. So lunch participation by school. The Child Nutrition Program operates as a self-supporting, non-tax levy fund. It does not draw from the district's general fund or property tax revenue. Instead, the program is funded entirely through federal and state reimbursement tied to the meals actually served to the students each day. This slide captures our lunch engagement. It does show strong meal participation across the K-8s with room for improvement in our high schools. Under CEP, every student in the district eats breakfast and lunch at no charge, and the department is reimbursed at the free meal rate for each meal served. That reimbursement, not enrollment, not seat time, but the meals actually consumed, is my department's sole source of operating revenue. It funds everything: food and supply costs, our food service management company contract with Sodexo, equipment replacement, and every position on the nutrition team, which includes the school lunch monitors. This means participation isn't just a nutritional goal, it's the program's financial foundation. When the students don't eat the meals, the department doesn't just lose a meal, it loses revenue tied to that meal, while fixed costs like staffing, contracted rates, facilities continue regardless. Low participation puts direct pressure on the fund's solvency and ultimately on the district's ability to sustain the program without general fund support. So strong daily participation is essential, not only to ensure students are fed and ready to learn, but to keep this department financially self-sufficient and free of any burdens on district taxpayers. So we are very close to, we haven't fully closed the books. There are still a few invoices to be processed, but we are very close to break even with the budget between earned revenue and expenses. Next slide. Breakfast participation by school is the slide that gives us the most eye-opening view to opportunity. As you can see, the K-8s are pretty strong with breakfast, but when it gets to the high school level, you know, for example, let's take STEAM. By all accounts, I think we can agree that a 25% breakfast participation percentage is pretty low. Some might immediately target the food that is offered, but you also have to look at the issues more broadly. Close your eyes for a minute and imagine it's 6:45 a.m. and your 16-year-old has to be up and out of the house to make it to homeroom at STEAM at 7:50. Maybe they grab something before they scramble out of the house. Maybe they take the bus, but most of our children walk past the local bodega, past the commercially branded food businesses and the coffee shops. They may stop in or they may rush past to the school building. Then they have to climb Gramerton Avenue and the 10,000 stairs in front of STEAM just to get into the building. By the time they arrive, the last thing they want to do is walk all the way to the back to the cafeteria to get breakfast. So Sodexo and I have to bring the breakfast and the breakfast they want to them. Beginning in the fall, breakfast kiosks will greet STEAM students as they arrive. We put that same practice in place at Mount Vernon High School, placing kiosks at 2 of the high school entrance points with positive results. And I just want to say thank you to Principal Pauline Pierce and her team for being a partner in feeding our students. Next slide. Bright spots worth celebrating. Hamilton School at 90.2% participation. Edward Williams School, 92.3. They are really strong in breakfast and lunch. Grimes School is exceptionally strong in breakfast and lunch, 89.2% breakfast, 87% lunch, and 85.5% for Rebecca Turner. Our schools are truly dedicated to investing in our gems, and I'm highlighting just a few of them here. Next slide. So the district is proceeding with year 2 of its food service management company contract extension with Sodexo Operations. The first year involved some steep learning curves and some staff adjustments, but there was also real progress, and both partners, the district and Sodexo, choose to keep building together. I want to also provide the board with an updated status on the food service management agreement year 2 extension. Based on communications with New York State, I previously reported to the superintendent and the board that this was approved and resolved. Since that update, I was informed that the approval is still under active review. There was a form change that needed to happen. I'm in direct contact with New York State to clarify the status and secure written confirmation, and I will bring the board a definitive update and signed contract as soon as it's received. Next slide. So what we aspire to achieve in 26, 27, and beyond, we're going to grow meal participation. Our goal is to increase meal participation, especially at the high school. This requires engagement and conversation about the importance of nutrition and lifetime wellness. We are going to be improving our kitchens. In 25, 26, we replaced 3 major pieces of equipment, a freezer at Lincoln and a warmer at Ben Turner and at Williams. We're going to explore the addition of after-school supper based on the needs of the curriculum and instruction department, and that will allow us to provide a 3rd daily meal for students at a higher reimbursement rate who stay late for tutoring, athletics, and enrichment at no cost to the district's general fund. We aspire to move forward towards greater local sourcing and more taste testing and scratch cooking, real food prepared in our kitchens with fewer processed items on the tray. We are building this process in phases with the Sodexo culinary team. And this also goes back to kitchen equipment improvements, as it is challenging to scratch cook in a heat and serve kitchen. Next slide. So I'm also exploring a refresh of some of our cafeteria spaces to improve seating, traffic flow, and school climate. When surveyed by Sodexo, students noted they enjoyed spending time in the cafeteria with their friends, but desired brighter spaces and decoration. We have received some inspiring ideas from vendors, and that's one of them on the screen, and we hope to be able to implement them. Next slide. What we aspire to continue. More local food on the tray. We will continue working towards New York State's 30% local sourcing threshold. When we hit it, the state's reimbursement on every lunch rises from 6 cents to 25 cents. At our volume, and we're at about the 17% mark towards that 30%, that's meaningful recurring revenue that comes back into student meals and program improvement. There's a lot of paperwork and tracking involved, but in the end, it is worth it. At this time, only 73 of the 762 eligible school food districts are actively participating, largely due to the administrative tracking challenges, but I like a challenge. There will be continued learning, continued advocacy. The phrase "all politics is local" definitely impacts Mount Vernon. I will keep participating in local and national conferences and committees, in person and virtually, where I can bring knowledge back about changes to SNAP benefits, the Farm Bill, and anything that might support or destabilize our families. Gardening and greenhouse efforts. Those will continue to be revitalized with our students growing food from our own cafeterias that food services can then purchase and serve. Next slide. We will continue investing, God bless you, in the staff who are committed to nourishing our kids. We achieved an agreed upon MOU for the school lunch monitors that come out of the C Fund. Thank you to the members of the Local 338. They are ambassadors for our meal programs. We will intentionally invest in them. There will be first aid, conflict resolution training, and more. Sodexo staff receive ongoing training and support to remain compliant with school nutrition rules, and so do I. Additionally, I've applied to the New York Farm to School to host a regional Roots Farm to School culinary training for the staff, sponsored by the New York State Department of Education and Cornell Cooperative. We will also continue student wellness leadership opportunities through the Nourish Ambassadors at Mount Vernon High School, Denzel, and STEAM. This includes gardening and pop-up cooking classes and lots of education. And we will also continue partnerships with our local organizations that support wellness goals, like Plant Powered Metro New York, to help improve the lives of our students and families. Next slide. We will also continue serving families beyond the lunch tray. We will continue to amplify Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, program information as required by New York State and Education Law 915-A. This rule requires us to ensure that families receive timely, accessible information about SNAP eligibility and enrollment. And if anybody in the community accesses this slide presentation online, there are QR codes so that you can sign up for SNAP if you need to. Next slide. And we will continue our partnership with Feeding Westchester to support Mount Vernon families through food distributions. Tremendous thanks to Sheila Solomon in Human Resources and Lisa Orteri, the Executive Assistant to the Superintendent, and every single Mount Vernon City School District volunteer. And tremendous thanks to our new Executive Director of Strategic Development, Lauren McCoy, for helping us to secure a grant for a 9/11 Memorial Project. It is projects like these that support district and community wellness. Next slide. I promise we're near the end. Last but not least, coming in September, My School Bucks. Students and staff, starting in September, My School Bucks will be available for second meal purchases. So you need to receive your free meal first. And if you would like a second meal, you may purchase one. This will also support staff being able to purchase meals, and it will also support the purchase of a la carte smart snack sales. Sign up is very easy, simple, and secure. And again, if anybody in the public accesses this PowerPoint presentation, you can scan the QR code and sign your child up using their school ID. Next slide. We will continue to grow our community.
Do we have any questions? Trustee McDonough?
I know it.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi,
Hi.
that was great. One question, this may be dumb. I was thinking,
Go ahead.
it's been a while since I was eating school meals, but
No dumb
are,
question.
are meals scaled in size? So based on caloric intake kids need as they grow. So kindergarten meal is smaller than a fourth grader's meal is
A pre-K
smaller.
meal is smaller
Yeah.
than the K-8s. Because the K-8s are in the same building, we're able to level set them so that the meal size is pretty much proportionate. Yeah.
Got it. But it's not necessarily done every year. But it's incrementally increased.
Correct.
Cool. Great. Thanks.
Yep.
Trustee Peterson?
Thank you so much, Ms. Jackson, for that. Just two questions. Were you able to do like a survey for the kids on the taste and presentation of the food throughout this school year?
So Sodexo did do two surveys, a fall survey and a spring survey. The fall survey had much larger participation, I think about 450, 420 students and community. And to be honest, there's a transitional period that we're
Yeah.
in. You know, some people still think that our mark is here. Sodexo will do much better promoting themselves, promoting and marketing the programs, promoting and doing taste testing, and that is a part of the bid contract.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Trustee Brown?
Hello, Ms. Jackson. Thank you
Hello.
for a really great presentation. I had a question on one of the slides that you showed. It's not here on my executive content, but I noticed it on here that they were proposing, or you were proposing, that there would be some new configurations in the lunchroom.
Correct.
And it showed like new lunch tables and all of that jazz.
Correct.
With the district breaking even with giving meals and us getting recouped for that, is there any mechanism where we would be able to purchase new tables, because there were some lunchrooms throughout the district that have had, some
Right.
wear and tear?
Mhm.
And so how is that chosen, or is it just a wish list of what we could do, but the extra like cafeteria equipment and stuff like that, is that on the district's side? Just wanted to know how that would work out for us.
Any improvements to the program are a direct result of the students and staff participation in the program. I don't get tax dollars unless I come and beg, Dr. Strickland for some, and he's going to say no, because I need to be able to monitor and manage and run my program, right? So the goal is to improve the student participation, especially at the high school level. Like, we can't have 25% participation for breakfast. That just makes no sense, right? So what is it that we need to do? We need to go out and market and make sure that these kids understand that breakfast is, the thing you need to get, and maybe not the sugar coffee mix, that kind of thing. But the money will come as the participation increases. And there are also grants that we can apply for. And if you ask Ms. McCoy and Dr. Strickland, I have been pestering them all year. We've been actively going after certain grants. We've reached the second round in one grant. I won't even jinx it and say it, but we've reached the second round in one grant that will help with the educational piece. And there are other grants, equipment grants. I'm just waiting for New York State to start to release those things. And a lot of stuff is hedging on, what's happening federally.
Okay, and so those grants will cover the cafeteria equipment, but
To
then
a degree.
to a degree.
Yeah.
And then like lunch tables and seats and stuff, that's more on the district's end. No, that's all
in
under
my
your umbrella.
wheelhouse.
Okay, great. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome.
President Marable?
Okay. Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Ms. Jackson, for that presentation. This might be pie in the sky or just a question.
Mhm.
So we know that children like the fast food restaurants and they like the Starbucks and all that and the Dunkin' Donuts. Have we ever, or is there an opportunity for us to be able to utilize those corporations, or have we reached out or found out if their corporations are willing to do some type of sponsorship and to modify some of their menus in order to satisfy, so that they could kind of have like a pseudo Starbucks or a pseudo Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's, whatever, to maybe entice the students to engage more with the lunch and
So
breakfast?
you're going to get district Donna answer and you're going to get taxpayer Donna answer, right? And I have my mentor here to just snatch my chain but there are commercially branded food items that do meet the requirements for child nutrition, right? So the Pop-Tart that we serve, or the donut that we serve, or the waffle that we serve is whole grain and low sugar and no trans fats and all of these other kinds of things. The problem becomes the Pop-Tart that you get in the school district is not the Pop-Tart that you're going to get at your local grocery store or bodega. So I have to be careful because I have a responsibility to teach these children health and wellness and good behaviors throughout life, right? So when you go into the store, you're just going to look for the Pop-Tart. You may not turn it over and read that nutrition label, and I don't want Pop-Tart suing me, but you may not turn that label over and realize that, the grams of sugar in there is equivalent to a soda or, that kind of thing. So I'm very careful about the commercially branded stuff. We won't be able to get away from it. There are time constraints for meal service and that kind of thing. I would love to get back to the scratch cooking that we had when I was class of '87, but we have to get our kitchens back from being heat and serve kitchens to scratch cook kitchens.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? No? Dr. Strickland, you want to introduce your second presentation? You already did? Okay, great. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
we'll be having the Mount Vernon School District website redesigned by Mike Beeger and Jordan Solis from MJB Communications. Gentlemen, floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. I just want to say good evening to the Board of Trustees, Dr. Strickland, and everyone that's basically joined us here in person and on TV, on their streaming service tonight. I'm Mike Beeger. I'm part of the communications team. I'm here with Jordan Solis. We're here to show you hopefully some fun stuff. At least he's got the fun stuff. I've got like the process stuff. I've got kind of like the boring stuff to talk to you about a little bit. So I'll try and move through my part of it as quickly as possible to give some time to Jordan. So I wanted to basically say before we get started that the site is still being finalized, right? So we're still working through it, but we're on track for an August 25th launch. So I want everybody to know that. It's kind of an exciting time. We're trying to grow through the website as much as possible. On our presentation, we placed some images. You'll see, like even from that slide above, we put some images up that are on the current website, but Jordan's going to be going through it live with you in a few minutes. So again, I'll leave that for him. So tonight I'll cover the process and the redesign, the feedback that shaped it. Jordan will have the fun stuff. So what I'd like to say is that we started this process about a year ago now, working with Dr. Strickland. Got some feedback from Dr. Strickland last summer as far as what he thought and felt about the website. We took those initial notes. We started exploring templates with other school districts, looking at other school district sites for inspiration. From there, we developed like a website committee. So the website committee had parents, teachers, students, staff members, administrators. We tried to pull people together, and we tried to get some honest feedback as to what they thought of the existing website. So, and I'll be honest with you that navigation was kind of like the top thing that people talked about. I can't find, whatever it might be. So that's kind of common, like especially like after a website starts, aging a little bit, like people are having trouble finding things. So that was kind of the number one. Faculty pages were hard to access. The overall color scheme was pretty dark. The site was wasn't reliably mobile friendly. And the individual school sites just felt like they were too generic. They were like too similar to what the school district site is. So we feel like we've got some solutions in hand, and Jordan's going to explain that in a couple seconds. We also looked at the traffic of the existing site, and we took that research and feedback, and we basically started designing and building with Final Site. So, yep, like I said, at this point, we're just kind of doing updates, and I'll hand it over to Jordan.
Can you go back one? Okay. So the new website, it comes with several new features. Like I said, like Mike said, the main issue that people had was navigation. So we tried to make our changes based off of what can help people, find information. One of those changes, which you'll see on the next slide, is condensed navigation and more consistency of navigation across all pages. So on every page on this new website, with few exceptions, you'll expect to see the same navigation and menu of links. So we also added some new buttons to the website, and changed some colors and branding. And so that's just to kind of help call out important information more, really make things more prominent to help draw users' attention. My favorite of these new buttons, which you'll see when I do the walkthrough, is the one in the header. We can use that to kind of call out like really big, important information that we want parents or anyone to see right when they come to our website. As you can see, that's the enhanced search bar that we created through our design. I'll kind of go into that more on the walkthrough. Another one of our changes was that we had one of the things that worked on the old site was the quick links and the I want to section. And so, but we realized that these kind of serve the same purpose. So we combined those into one quick link section. And so that way, any of those important type of links that we want to have front and center, those will all be in one place. And then throughout the site, as you saw on the last page, we tried to use more photography to improve the positive feel of the site and show our students more. And we also added video to the homepage image area, a video capability. So if we choose to, we can have a video in there to highlight the district even more. Okay. And so, yeah, we have like three pretty big changes that we made, which were the enhanced search bar. Like I said, I'll go into that in the walkthrough, and then the billboard and navigation. also with the billboard, I'll kind of go through that a little bit more on the walkthrough as well to kind of show kind of the thinking behind that. And then once you get to the navigation, these are going to be the three main navigation elements. And then on internal pages, you'll have a menu of links on the side, on the left side. So the top links, these are the call to action type buttons, the pages that are used really the most, and that would be the faculty technology page, student technology page, and then registration. And then next to those, we have, the quick links and the schools. So those are, those top links that get you to those main pages. And then moving down, this is where we condense the navigation to kind of make it more simplified for families. We had 6 tabs on the old website, and we've condensed it to 4. So district is going to be anything that's like, a district-wide campaign, administration, the superintendent, curriculum, that'll have anything that's academic. Departments will be, operational type things within the district. And then families, that's going to be where we have any of the information that we want our families to be able to find. So, and then finally, we have the icon menu at the bottom of the page. And so these are just another area where we have important links. We looked at the traffic on the website to kind of see like where things were being used the most. And so we came up with those links. But again, all this stuff is editable. We can continue to make changes as we find different priorities or need to promote something more. And then everything here is going to be a similar menu on the school pages as well as the mobile website when you view it there. So yeah, all of this is really just supposed to, make the website a little easier to get around, help our families and our staff find info easier, and also like I do think it looks a lot better. So yeah, I'll hand it back to Mike.
To everyone is that even though we're going to launch, that's not the finish line for us, right? Like websites are continually changing, and this website, we feel, we're going to be able to change it as needed, as Jordan was just saying. Starting at the beginning of the school year, we plan on working with the tech links pretty quickly to get them updated on the back end of the website. The back end isn't going to be too much different, but we would just want to talk with them and work with them and train them to get everybody on the same page. Then they can update those school pages and make those school pages more unique. We'll post a video walkthrough on the website that will be a pop-up, and it'll be also district news, but that video will be like an introduction to like the new website. So families and community members can see some of the highlights of the website and see what's changed. But we also want to make sure that the redesign keeps improving after the launch. So we're going to have like a feedback page that we're going to have in we're going to have a feedback page, and that so when the site goes live on that pop-up, people will have a link and they can go and give us feedback, and that feedback will stay up for a long time because we want feedback from people, and we'll promote it from time to time just to let people know that, hey, they can make changes or they can request changes and interact with us as far as getting updates for the website. So with that, I'm going to just hand it back to Jordan.
So as Mike mentioned, I'm just gonna kind of go through the website here so you can kind of see what it looks like right now and see kind of the direction that we took things. So I'm gonna start I'm gonna go top to bottom. We have our faculty, we have these call to action links that I mentioned at the top. One of the main things was that the faculty links were kind of it was difficult to find. And so even in the design process, we actually made this change to our current site where we combined all the faculty links into one place so that no one, if you're looking for certain links, you don't go to the professional program links, or like there was different categories. So we just kind of combined all that. And so, as well as one of the things that we worked on with Final Site was that they do a part of the project was layout optimization, which means they kind of just take the best practices for a website and they help you lay out the page. And so again, with this service, we just looked at the pages that got a lot of traffic or pages that were really important to us. And so like registration, we have it here. As you can see, we have this card that really calls out the registration button. The information is laid out in a really nice way. And then we have at the bottom, we have the accordion. This is a new element that we got on the site, some little dividers with the logo. We should be able to update the logo in there. And then, so we go back to the home page. And then, so continue moving along. We have the school pages here. Just my random school. And it's going to be a similar page, except our school, departments, programs, and families. And then you go back to the district with this button up here. And then, like I mentioned, the condensed navigation, we have, less menus for families to kind of sort through as they look for things. And then, like I said, we have this search bar where the thinking behind this was that one of the pages people visit a lot are actually our search results. And
Sorry, Jordan, can you just slow down a little in terms of your presentation?
yeah.
Thanks.
So some things that people look at a lot is their the search results page, which means people are doing a lot of searches. So we wanted to make something a little bit more prominent that, really pops out at you. And also we have some links here as well that some of the important links, again, which can be updated as well, but we just wanted to kind of give you another opportunity to find the info before you even type a search in. Can you get me back to there? I couldn't see the X sign because of the size of the window. Okay, so yeah, so now we have, as we keep moving down, we have this header section where we can put different things on here that we might want to promote a lot. Like this is promoting Mount Vernon's Jewel Box, where you can click here to watch. This is promoting English language arts. This is promoting the athletics. So if you want to sign up, you can click on this button and go to the athletics page. Here's some of the buttons, the newer, brighter buttons. And yeah. So then after that, we have the billboard, which I mentioned I would talk about more. This is going to be the area where anything that's coming up in the district is going to be. So this is, these were two sections before on the old website, the calendar and the billboard. And so now we combine them into one billboard. And so the thinking was that the announcements next to the calendar kind of gives you one area, one central zone for any types of events, any types of information that we really want families to go to. You can click on each post and you see the information. You can also click on the events and you can see some information about the events if there's additional information that needs to be provided. Also, there's buttons to visit all our events or all our announcements. And then after the billboard, you have school and district news. so this is going to be kind of the area where we promote the things that are happening in the district, the great things that happen in the district, but also areas where we might want to show transparency, and we want to post, like, as you can see here, the treasurer's financial reports. Like we want to use this area to really just highlight what's happening in the district. And you can visit all news here. And then finally, this is the end of the website, and this is our by the numbers section. Again, this is something that is going to evolve as we go, but this is just, we want to just take anything that we, any of the big things that we want to highlight about our district, or that we want the community to know, or prospective parents to know. We just want to make sure that we have some of that stuff that really represents us as a district. So we're also going to look more into like some of the other things that we should have included here. So with that, I will say that, yeah, that's our website. And if you have any questions. Oh, as well, we have a translation section. We have this on our old site as well. But we bolded this a little more, made it a little more, it looks very similar, but it's a little bit bolder, and so you can click on any language and it'll translate it right in front of you. So anywhere on the page where we have text, it's going to translate. The one area where it won't translate is images. But any like story, any post, you're going to have automatic translations. And that's our website.
Great. Thank you for that presentation. Do we
Thank
have any
you.
questions? Trustee Brown?
Great presentation. I am very excited because as a parent, prior to coming to the board, that was one of my biggest concerns, was how antiquated the website was and all of the clicking that you had to do to get through the smoke and mirrors of the website. So I'm really excited to see this launch. I would like to take off my trustee hat and put on my parent hat. As I'm looking at this, for the links for parents, when we want to get our children's grades, that is a travesty. Just throwing it out there. It's terrible. And a lot of parents have that concern. How do we get to our kids' grades? And so I would love to see somewhere on this website that when the parent goes under, that there is some type of direct link where they can log on and get their kids' grades, because as a parent, that's what we want to see, right? And so if that can be incorporated as you're working on this layout and rollout of the redesign, that would be amazing. My other thing is that as a trustee, there are so many things that the district is doing district-wide and then school-based wide. Is there going to be a master calendar on here where a parent can go and click to kind of see? Because if you have multiple kids at different schools, you kind of want to sync up your calendars. We are all in this age where we have phones and everyone has one or two phones. And so being able to look at a calendar that has all of the master events that the district is having would be a really big bonus. And something like that should possibly be on like one of the first pages for parents to see, just so that we are all on the same page. And so I have to wear both hats sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I would love to see that. And I know other parents, that has been a concern even at the end of the year, looking at the end of the year report cards and also, where their kids are going and who their teacher is going to be. So if we can just
Yeah.
make sure we dive into that, that would be amazing. And so other than that, I'm really excited to see
Yeah.
the redesign. And I know you guys put a lot of work in. So I want to say thank you as a parent and a board member. And thank you, Dr. Strickland, because that was something that was a huge roadblock as a parent when I was trying to navigate the website. And so I just want to thank you for the work that you've done. Thanks.
Any other questions? Trustee Peterson?
So, Mike and Jordan, I feel like I remember years ago when we first were going through the what we have now, the website, and we thought that was cool. We were doing something back then. So now, here we go, 7 years later. My biggest pet peeve, first, thank you. I like the way it looks. I like that it's much more user-friendly, parent-friendly. My biggest pet peeve, could you go back and click on a school page? And does my biggest pet peeve, let's see. Just pick any school, doesn't matter. Is this, so you clicked on a school, but I don't see the school pop up on the screen. And that's like the biggest question I get from parents is that, and I'm like, you gotta scroll down. Am I correct? You have to scroll down to get the information on the school? No? Where's the,
there's the school at the top right here, the name of the school. Is that what you mean?
so, no, so like the picture should change, it should
Oh,
be like
yeah,
the
yeah,
school,
of course,
like
yeah,
the picture changes, the school building, principal, and stuff like that. And I think that's like the biggest, I almost kind of think like the school name, if it could be a little bit larger in the ribbon, because like I didn't even notice that the school name changed and that the picture stays the same. So that is like a big, I get that a lot from parents. They're like, Miss Peterson, Erica, I went on, and I'm like, no, you got to scroll down. And so if that's like the only, I love it. The only thing is that when we click on the schools, like I still can't tell what school I'm at,
yeah.
like that.
We definitely would hope to have each school more, definitely different pictures.
Okay.
But for the purpose of the presentation.
Oh, yeah, no, I
yeah.
totally,
But
yeah,
we
that was
de-
just, I'm telling, like,
we
that was just like my
definitely-
biggest. And so also with when you click on student, will it take you, so as a parent, if I go to student, will it take me to Infinite Campus also? Because that's where we can get the grades and everything from. Is there a link?
There
Oh,
will be
right
a
there.
link to Infinite Campus.
Okay.
But I think I do like the suggestion of having something that says,
Yeah, like,
"Get
where's my
get
grades?" Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
doesn't, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Any other questions? President Marable?
Great, because I tell you, I have, for years, I've trying to navigate this website has been horrendous for me. So I want to say thank you for someone who, I'm not as technically challenged as some, but I'm not the best. But this thank you definitely helps. Can you go to where you can find Board of Education information?
Yeah.
Just curious what that looks like.
It's definitely a similar,
So what did you clicked on district?
oh yeah, it's gonna be under
Okay.
district. Yep.
Okay. And so the information for the board in terms of the presentations that are made, some of the documents, information, will that all be here?
Yeah.
And also calendar of events, I agree with Trustee Brown and Trustee Peterson on both fronts. Like when you see, number one, you see the school, that as soon as you see that big blank space, that the administration maybe should be listed, like who's the principal, what's the address, what's the phone number, the contact information, so that you can it's readily available. You don't have to click on something to find it. And then where it says Infinite Campus, that's where the students' grades are located, if that could be repositioned, so that's almost like the first thing you see if parents are looking for that instead of
Yeah.
scrolling all the way down. And then also where it says, not that I'm trying to design this, but just as a user,
Yeah.
in terms of the language, down there in that corner, it's hard to see. I don't know if there's any way you could put it at the menu at the top so that people can do a translation higher up somewhere. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
some of those thoughts. But I thought it was excellent, and thank you thank you. Dr. Strickland knows that was one of the first things I think we talked about when he interviewed all of the trustees when he came on board, and I said, that website. So thank you.
I had one question that I wanted to ask, and it was regard to the feedback section that you had on the screen. When you ask for feedback, you're gonna get feedback.
Yeah,
So my
sure.
question to you is, how will you handle what you receive, as well as communicate that what you received is actually happening or has been addressed?
Yeah, I can address that. A lot of emails. So yeah, like, and a lot of what we do is, like with email communication. So yeah, we would try and respond individually to people, and let them know. Like, I was even thinking too, like, we've got some great feedback already right here. So like it would be good for us to communicate out that like what we can do and what we can't do. Um, Unfortunately, like everything, you know, like it is built now. So, but we can work within our constraints of what we can do, right? Like we can put a photo of the school at the top of the page. We can put in that white space, we can put the administrators, like there's ways that we can do and work with that. But yeah, like there's definitely like email feedback. So yeah, we'll definitely respond.
No, I was gonna ask about that.
Trustee Brown?
I'm sorry, I'm very excited about this website, as you can see. Super excited. Just two things. One, definitely adding the photo of the school building. As soon as you click on that link, as Trustee Peterson said, if you can make the name of the school bigger, because that'll also help, because it's a little small. And if we're gonna be clicking on a school, we want the school to be prominent in that picture of the actual face of the building. Because even me as a trustee, someone says a name and I'm like, where's that school at? So I just, sometimes if I see the pictures, like, okay, that's over there. My other thing was, if you can go to the families section for me. So I know I'm not the only parent out here that takes our kid for these doctor's appointments and eye exams, and we get all these paperwork. Is there going to be a spot where we can upload these documents? Because if I have to walk around with paper and wait to give it to the teacher and give it to the nurse, I just want to know, is there a portal that we can upload it and that it can then be emailed? Because like at work, if I scan something, it goes directly to my email account. So just trying to see if there is something like that that's going to be on the family section, because every year we have to do immunizations. And then the nurses send home, have your child been checked for the eyes and all of that. So is there going to be something like that? Or is that still going to be like school-based and we have to turn those forms in paper-wise?
So we don't have anything like that planned. So I
okay.
don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Just asking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But like if I could just add to that too, though, you know, we can talk to Satish about like, you know, is there a way to build a portal? You know, can we talk to, you know, the health office to build something to connect? Because with the website, you know, there is a lot of ways for us to just connect to, you know, an outside server of you know, somehow. But I'll leave it to Satish to.
Okay. Thank you
put
for that.
together.
As you see, I'm very excited about it. So
We're
thank
glad-
you.
We're glad you're
Yeah.
excited. So that's good.
President Marable?
I'd just like to warn us about FERPA laws and confidentiality. 'Cause sometimes when when traffic is going through a website, especially like this, there's some information that's very private and confidential. So we just a note. But the other question I had is about the calendar. So you indicated there was a calendar, something was side by side. I guess I missed it in the presentation, the calendar and something was side by side.
Yeah. So there's
Do you have like a actual calendar where you could actually click on the date and then
Yes.
it'll tell you everything that's happening on a particular day?
Yeah, so if this is the calendar on the homepage, and then if you click to view all events, it'll actually take you to the calendar where you have the dates.
Okay. And how far does the calendar go up to? Is it for 12 months that you
to
just
the-
load it?
To the end, it has years in it, but it's
Okay.
just as long as
For that
it's
school
whatever
year,
we have
everything's loaded?
updated, yeah.
Okay, and populated?
Yep.
Okay.
And we keep updating that throughout the year, like as new events come in, so.
Okay. And who's maintaining the website?
That would be the communications team, so that's me, Carolyn Gerstel, Mike Beeger, and also your own Steinbuck works with us,
Okay. Okay.
as well as the tech. Oh, yeah, so we're gonna be training so we're focused mostly on the district site and the structure of the website, and then the tech links will be working within the school sites
Directly
more.
with the schools. And then I see the school names and then I see the night, right, which
Mhm.
is the flagship.
Yeah.
Will they have the mascots for the schools on their individual sites?
I mean, we're looking into logos for them, so I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Strickland, did you want to say anything?
Just a few notes that I picked up on. I definitely agree with making sure that parents have an easier access to the parent portal or whatever it's called for Infinite Campus. That was a issue in most districts that I've been in, and it's almost like they make it impossible for parents to actually navigate. But that's also going to have to. That's also going to make sure that we take we make sure that teachers are inputting grades in Infinite Campus so that it's more updated real time. That's going to also be a change. And also another note, one of the things I heard, we're not digital yet. And I struggle with making families go and look on the internet for everything. And we need to send out physical report cards because it's problematic for me. It's just like we're not all in the same place yet. And thank you for the feedback about the website. It's lighter, brighter, and that's the new logo, just an FYI. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you for that, Dr. Strickland. And if there's no other questions, we thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll move to committee reports, 4.1, and we'll have an IDA report from trustee Chris McDonough.
Hi, thanks. Yeah, so there's two documents up there. This is about the Ginsburg Development companies, the Heritage South property, which is TJ Maxx Petco. Rookie mistake of saying this is our last word. Sorry about that. Of course, as soon as I said this is our last word, they submitted another document. And so, we responded to that, but I won't make that mistake again. Yeah, the sequence was a little bit odd. We had asked for sales tax data in May. They said they couldn't provide it. So then we said, okay, we won't pursue it, but in the future, the IDA should make that a requirement. And then I said, this is our last word, and I won't be at the meeting on August 13th. And then they submitted sales tax data. That's really where we are now. I don't know what they'll be talking about other than that report. I think the three takeaways are, for at this point, from my perspective, represented in the letter we wrote, is they should defer decision-making. There's time to wait and see how the foreclosure resolves in December. And if they do decide to move ahead, there's no reason to do it through 2045. 5 years, if they're going to do an extension, 5 years is enough to get them going. And above all else, now that they put sales tax in, it seems to me that, and I added another paragraph, if you didn't get it at the end there, that kind of lays it bare. We don't share in sales tax revenue, but we would be financing it largely. So it shouldn't be that school property tax revenue is used to secure sales tax revenue that we don't share in. And that's essentially the way it's set up. So I think if they do want to pursue it, the IDA could construct the pilot so that we keep it 100% of what we're due, and the county and the city have an increase, or they decrease what they take, if they want to do that. But we'll see. The next thing coming up will be, I think Library Square will be up in September, and then Penrose Trinity will probably be coming up again as well. That's it.
Do we have any questions? If not, I would like to put a motion in so that we can authorize the letter that was sent.
So moved.
Aye. Okay. Great. We'll now be moving into public comment, communication from the public. And do we have any speakers?
We do not have any speakers tonight.
Okay. So then we'll move into 6, which is curriculum and instruction. And for items 6.1 to 6.6, are there any that need to be pulled, discussed? Or questions? Okay. If not, we'll move to 7.1, student personnel services. Are there any questions? Does this need to be pulled? President Marable?
Just a question, I'm sorry, for 6.3, appointment of technology links. I noticed that we have like 3 for each high school. And I'm just looking at the population for the high schools. Do we need 3 for each high school because the populations may not warrant it?
So as far as I'm concerned, I remember when I came on board last year, it was actually stated that each of the elementary schools received 2, and then the high schools received 3. But what I'll do is I'll talk with Dr. Doggett and Dr. Jagnandan to determine if we do need the 3 for all of the schools. But just an FYI, this funding is going to be out of the Title IV grant monies, which will fund, all of the different things that are needed for these individuals to support teachers in the schools. And actually, with our transition from Schoology to Google Classroom this year, I think it's going to be probably more prevalent or more needed this year than ever. And I will say I placed the actual description in the content because I was looking deep at this, making sure that we are utilizing these individuals to the best of our ability.
Great. We'll go back to 6.1 to 6.6. Any additional questions? All right. Moving to 7.1. Any questions on the approval of student personnel services memorandum? No, if none, move into the business office items, 8.1 to 8.6. Any questions? Anything need to be pulled? Hmm? Items to consent agenda, and I request a motion to authorize the senators to consent agenda. Motion. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Thank you. Now moving on to human resources, 10.1 to 10.8. We need to take votes on those tonight.
Yes.
No, she said. So 10.1 to 10.8. Take a vote. It just keeps turning off on me.
Just don't touch it.
All right, Let me not touch it. My hand's gonna be like this. Hands up. Again, 10.1 to 10.8. Taking a vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, let me have a motion, please. bring
Motion
back
to
10
take a vote.
Okay, so we have trustee Brown. Can I have a second, please? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries for 10.1 to 10.8.
Dr. Strickland?
I just want to congratulate and welcome Ms. Muccio, who's in the audience with us today, who will be joining us as the assistant principal for the Graham School. She did have a very, very solid interview, very heavy on restorative practices and exactly what that school needs. So I'm looking forward to working with her.
Welcome, welcome. Moving on to 10.9, we need to take a vote on this. So can I have a motion, please?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Awesome. And finally, 10.10, need to take a vote to have a motion for this, please.
Motion.
All in favor? Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Awesome. Thank you. Now moving into comments from the board. Do we have any board members that have any comments? Going once, going twice. All right. Moving into executive session, do we need to go into executive session?
We do have one item. So can I have a motion, please, to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing a follow-up on potential litigation? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. We're in executive session.
Great, thank you. This meeting is adjourned and we will not be, we'll be adjourning to executive session, but we will not be returning back to this room. So we thank all of those who are here with us and those watching, and we'll have a good night.
Great.